there's a lot of things that come into your life every day that you have to handle. And the hardest thing is our emotions when we're going through changes. You may have had a situation that started with losing a job or changing relationships, or perhaps some of the prayer requests I've had is loved ones that are in the hospital and the change that that's caused in their lives. And the change of just being alive and experiencing life on a new way of being and thinking. Because when you're on this journey that you're on, what happens is your consciousness starts to shake you loose of all old belief systems, old ideas, even about God. My consciousness has shifted so many ways about thinking about the creator of this universe and not separating myself from that energy and that life, because that's part of who you are. That energy and life of God in you is striving to push you forward. And it sometimes changes your world by tipping it over. I've had my world tipped over so very many times. And every time I had it tipped over, I came out stronger, more capable of handling things, more wiser, more resilient, more determined. Because every time there's a change in your life and you grab hold of that change and you don't let it drag you down, it builds you up, it changes you. You can't be the same person, the same consciousness, and go through a death of a person in your life, an illness. Some of the illnesses that I had where I was on death's door, and I knew at the moment that the time that I was experiencing this terrific operation where they thought I was going to die, and I rose from that and got stronger and more determined on my spiritual journey. And you see, it's how you handle these changes that will support you. Your life is an adventure. Your life is an adventure of change. And this is the thing that so many of us are afraid of, change. Always I have to ask myself, when I'm in the avenue of change, I don't like giving up my comfort. We have comforts. We get comfortable in our space, comfortable in where we are. And it's hard for us to let go of our comfort zone. And scary to let go of it. But we have to let go of the old before the new can produce within you. We have to, because otherwise we're going to stay stuck in old thought patterns. Your movement and consciousness comes one little step at a time. And as we take these steps, we let go of the old concept that we had of what love is all about, what giving is all about, what emotional energy we spend trying to defend ourselves or justify ourselves. And when I could observe myself and how I defended myself when I didn't need to, just simply because I thought I had to, or because I had some idea within myself that I was right and they were wrong, I started to stand back and move back from this and started to see how foolish I was, how wasteful I was of my God energy, that I would be in this whirlpool, and I do mean a whirlpool of emotions that were grabbing me up and not helping me, not setting me free, not moving my consciousness, not doing anything to support my spiritual growth. So observing of self is so very important, because we uncover some of our old patterns, and our old patterns are what keep us stuck. So when you're on this journey of self-discovery, you need to be open to the things that are coming into your life that are turning you upside down. The more they're turning you upside down, the more frightened you get. Embrace it. You see, embrace it. Because it's turning your life upside down. And it's wonderful. I started to say yay instead of nay. And it helped me because it was putting power into moving through it. Putting power into uncovering more of who I was within. And as I became more conscious of who I was within myself, it seemed like I was taking a bath in brilliant white light because I was experiencing a new me in a way I had never experienced myself before. So don't be afraid of these things that are turning you upside down. And the more they turn you upside down, the greater the opportunity to change. When I mentioned I went through this operation and I thought I was leaving this planet, and all I said was, God, you know my heart. You know my heart. You know my heart. I want to serve. I will do whatever, wherever I can serve, I will do it. It's in this body or maybe in the next plane of existence. But I'm willing. I'm willing. And slowly but surely, I went back into my body temple and I found myself on the operating room and the doctors telling my daughters that I don't think your mother's going to live. The only thing that's keeping her alive is her heart. The only thing. And I heard that and I thought to myself, I know I'm staying. God's got a plan for my life. I know I'm staying. And I had to go through the process of learning to walk again. I was in the hospital for 2 months, and when I was allowed to finally get to a place where they were going to put me on my 2 feet, I couldn't stand up. And they had to strap me and lock me and train my legs to move again. And I remember thinking, thank you, God. Oh, thank you, God. As hard as it was, I knew I had to thank God for it because thank you is an energy that you throw forth. And if you throw that forth, that energy, it will propel you. It will support you. And the fear goes away because you know that you are in the flow of something greater than yourself in that moment. So support yourselves as you're going through these changes that are happening in your life, because this is what life is about, change, and being able to grab hold of those changes and make something powerful for yourself. You uncover this wonderful courage that you have within, and that courage propels you forward, and you can handle anything that's given to you because you've already done it once. If you've done it once, you can do it twice. And if you do it twice, you can do it the 3rd time. It's supporting your soul emotionally. Emotions are so difficult. The emotions, I would rather physically move my whole apartment than go through 2 days of emotional pain. It's a lot easier. Physical things are a lot easier than emotional pain. Emotional pain drains us. It just totally tears us apart. And if you can take that emotional thing that's happening within your life and you can journal about it or think about it and identify what is it that's bothering me? What is it that I need to change to move through this? I have the power. I have everything I need. My mind is the thing that's going to change the outcome. Your mind changes the outcome. Your mind will support you in standing in the right consciousness to make the change. We are going to be faced with many changes, and some of them are more scary than others. I totally admit that. There's some changes that were really fun to make, but some were not fun at all. Until I learned to handle them differently, to embrace them rather than push them away, to suck them in and say, okay, what is it that I need to learn through this experience? This person that I'm having problems with. Why am I having problems? What about them that I don't like, that's in me, that I don't like about me, and I don't like seeing them because it reminds me of me? That was a big awakening, because there was all kinds of people that are acting perfectly beautiful. They helped me to find that out for myself. You see? They mirrored me. And it was, I started to realize that what I didn't like in them were the things that I didn't like in myself. It was easier for me to put it off on them than to look at me. And it wasn't making me more conscious. It wasn't making me more aware. It was just stuffing my feelings and turning them around and making them somebody else's problem, not mine. I started to recognize what Jane needed to do about Jane. And if I didn't, and if I wanted to hide from it, I wasn't going to be able to experience more love in my life. I wasn't going to be able to experience more freedom. Because every time you take one of these barriers down, it's a freedom. It's a huge freedom that comes forth for you. And you're ready to take the next possibility because you know that there's a freedom. You become more conscious. You become more spiritually conscious of your whole soul. And that's what we're about. We are about becoming fully conscious of our whole self. Not the little tiny 1/10 of us that's conscious right now, but we open the door wide and we let it come forth and we let it push us and let us pull us through the knothole into a greater awareness of who we are in the whole essence of our beingness. And once you really get to embrace that, it happens faster and faster and faster. And you become a spiritual warrior. And you're excited about your journey. You're not afraid anymore because you know as you walk through that you are going to come out a great hero. Hero to your consciousness. A great hero within, because you went through this and you know that you can do it again. And you know that no matter what happens to you, you can do what's necessary for you to do to make those changes in your consciousness. The only thing we have is our consciousness. The only thing that is present within us is our consciousness. We are in charge of it. It's a scary responsibility. When I realized I was responsible for my consciousness, I was responsible for what was going on and how I was thinking about things and how I was responding to things, I really had to get real with myself. And getting real wasn't too much fun, because then you can't hide from yourself. You know yourself. You can't hide from yourself. And you start to do the responsible thing spiritually for your soul. You begin to understand that there's something bigger inside of you, yourself, that is pushing you to come forward. And every step you take is bringing you closer and closer to fulfilling that desire of your heart. And it also helps you in solving everyday problems. Everyday problems get simplified because you see them at a different dimension, a higher dimension of self. You don't look at things on the surface anymore. You do not look at things on the surface because you have a greater perspective of what's going on. And you can see it from the mountaintop. And you can see yourself in action. And you can support things coming out the way they need to come out. Not only for yourself, but for your loved ones. And those people that God brings into your life to lovingly support, move, and help. We are spiritual beings, always moving in energy and light and love and And the vibration you send out is affecting others. The vibration and energy that you embrace others in is affecting them. So you have a responsibility that's even bigger when you're on a spiritual journey, because it's saying to you, you need to embrace more light. You are the light. You become the light. You become the vibration and energy. And by just being in the highest part of yourself, you are a blessing to everyone. You are a blessing to yourself, to that person, the salesperson that you bought the perfume from. You are a blessing. You are a blessing to anybody you talk on the telephone. They feel lifted up by just simply speaking to you, because you're on a different vibration. You are on a different energy. And it's a wonderful but scary responsibility. It's a scary but wonderful responsibility. And once you've had the opportunity to use this energy, and you see people's lives changing before you because you're standing in it, you're sitting in it, because you are part of that, you just want to keep moving your own consciousness so that you can support others to move theirs. If you are the light, you bring the light out of each other. If you are a light, you bring the light out of each other. It's the law of the universe. And even though you think you're a body sitting here, you are a light energy with a vibration sitting here. And at another level, you can see all the light in this room that is swirling around and becoming more apparent to the whole body temple. Your body temple is taking this energy in. It's taking this life energy force in and supporting you and solving your problems. When I realized how my problems are getting solved so effortlessly, and how I struggled with so much before, and now it's simply, I know what to do when I have a situation that is uncomfortable in my life. I know how to handle it. I know what to support myself in doing. And that's why I say to you, you are a light. You are an energy force. And everything that you have or need is right here. You are the center. You are the center of your own enlightenment. And you take responsibility by meditating every single day. If you can find one spot in your house that you can have a little meditation table or a chair, and you sit in it every single day for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I don't care, 10 minutes, half hour, whatever, but it will start to move your consciousness. And if you have a problem and you need an answer, go to that chair, sit in it, and say, I need an answer to this problem. I'm going to still my mind. I'm going to put on some music. I am going to meditate. And my CD is a great one to bring you in to alignment. So I will recommend it because it helps me. I listen to my own CD to help me get in center when I can't get in center. So, but it supports that energy in you. Anything you can do, look at a candlelight, whatever it is, go sit under a tree. But so take your problem and then release it and let it go, and it will be solved. The change will happen because we're in change now. This is the time, and it's coming to us. And I told you tonight, you are all going to get a blessing this week. You will have an answer to something that you've been wanting an answer to. You're going to get some new energy to look at things because we were together, because you offered yourself up in meditation tonight. You've helped each of us to move. So we have a wonderful opportunity this week to move in consciousness, to change the way we're thinking, to shake us up a little maybe, and remake us and remold us and give us new thoughts and ideas of how to support our soul. Our soul is yearning to move in consciousness. Our soul is making us move. It's making us uncomfortable if we don't move. And so get yourself a place that you can always go to meditate. And I have a special spot. And when I ask you for your prayers and your prayers, how I can support you in prayer, you're on my meditation table. And I get to see these every day. Some of you give me your picture, and I've got lots of pictures. And I hold you all in the love and light of God, knowing that God is going to answer your prayer, that whatever you are asking for, you're going to get a revelation for, or a greater understanding, a healing if you need a healing. A new relationship will come forth if you need a new relationship. If you're trying to work through an old relationship, you'll have more guidance and more light on that to move through it more quickly. So it's almost like you have this chair, and the minute you sit into it, it automatically helps you get centered because it has your vibe in it. It has your energy in it. And another thing that has helped me is I have a stole. I've had it for probably about 15, 18 years, and some of you probably have seen me wear it. It's a leopard skin on one side and kind of brown on the lining, but I've worn it and worn it, and I wear it to meditate. I take it on trips with me, and I put it around me. I have it, it has my vibe in it, because I know that the minute I put it around me, it's like, give yourself something that you always put on when you're meditating. Just, maybe it's a jacket, maybe it's a tie, maybe it's a piece of jewelry, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, use it and be your like a talisman. That's something that helps you get centered and brings you into that energy that's going to help you more easily to stay in the space. Because if you do that, you're going to be supporting the evolution of your soul. You're going to be supporting that which your soul is trying to tell you. My soul was trying to tell me things 20 years before I ever started to get in touch with it. It was pushing me. It was pushing me when I was a little girl. It was making me ask questions when I was tiny. And then as I grew older, I knew I wanted to touch the hem of God, to do something so that I would know more about what God was about, and which brought me into meditation. And I thought Jesus meditated on the mountain. Well, I guess it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me, I'll try it. And it worked. It worked. That's why I teach meditation. I just want to, there's nothing I can really teach you. You have it already. Maybe I can spark it in you, help you to think about these things a little differently, or supporting you. That's all I want you to do, is to go within and find these answers out for yourself. You are an individualized expression of God. You are a soul evolving. Your soul is different from any other soul in this room. We're all different. We all have different purposes. We all have reasons for being here that are different. So what works for me may not work for someone else. But I will tell you, if you can meditate and calm yourself down however you want, can, or might be able to do it, you are going to change. You are. Even if your mind goes crazy for the whole time you're sitting here, you will change. It's part of the law of the universe. It's tapping into the universal consciousness, even when you can't think you can't. Because some of the time I thought well, that was a waste of time. I sat there for a half hour and all I did was plan my menu for the week. I cleaned my house in my mind. And I thought, oh, I couldn't get still. I couldn't get quiet. But something was happening within me. And I started to get, slowly but surely, more quiet. And I stopped cleaning my house in my mind. And I stopped fixing my meals in my mind. And I stopped figuring out what I was going to do with my kids in my mind. And I started, when I stopped it, I started getting those kind of problems solved. not from my thinking about it, but my tapping universal knowledge, which came into consciousness and I knew what to do. And it was never what I would have ever thought to do, and it always worked. Some of the things that I did, I would have never thought of ever doing, but it helped me with my children because I started looking at them as souls evolving and not simply my little kids that I had to take care of. Even when they were 5, 6, 8, 10, they were souls evolving. What were they trying to tell me? What were these souls trying to tell me? How can I help them? And I would get answers of what to do. And they were far different than what I would have ever chosen for them. So here we are. We are all evolving. You are souls evolving. You have brilliance within you. And you have to trust it. You have to have faith in yourself. As these changes are happening, and so many of you have asked in the prayer request, how do I change this? Or what happens when change takes place? How do I handle my changes? I'm just trying to give you some of the tools that helped me and supported me in this venture, and seeing if I could maybe share some of these ideas with you, that maybe they would help you to tap into your resources that are right here. So I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your love and your life with me. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I appreciate it so very much. And I'll see you out there.